I'm laying here basking in the sun, and this message just keeps coming through for the last couple of weeks regarding LOVEJOY. And it's combining the frequencies of love and joy into one. And when you combine those, it vibrates at a hertz of 369. So the frequency of this heart-based connection. It's soul harmony. It's joy-infused union. It's like the holy Heros Gamos, the Holy Grail. There's this beautiful convergence that's happening. But when you combined those and you tap into the frequency of forgiveness, you add it into your center and it becomes the frequency and the vibration that you are emitting. It actually moves it up to a complete quantum celestial octave that's 963, which is the frequency of divine consciousness, of divine connection. This is the Christ consciousness connection is in the 963. So the LOVEJOY is just, when you say love, it's automatically joy. There's just no more self-love. It's self-love joy. And it raises your frequency. When you combine your self-love with joy, when you combine self-acceptance with joy, when you add joy to self-forgiveness, when you add joy to anything that starts with love, you have now just raised the vibration and frequency of that. At its core, it's the 639, but at its maximum occupancy of quantum field and energy, you are at the 963. You are vibing with the cosmic field, the divine consciousness, with the divine Father, Mother, God. It is so powerful, and it just keeps coming through that we've talked about layering. So like all of the little breadcrumbs have built themselves into toast, and that toast is then baked into bread, and that bread is now shared openly with the collective. And there's sometimes it takes a little while to get enough pieces of toast to have enough to bake the bread. But we are in the sharing of the bread. We are like layered and lathering on our favorite toppings, whether you love cream cheese or if you love honey on your bread. We are now getting into just the yummiest aspects of love and joy. So when you think about it, it's when you tap into 369, you are activating your heart chakra. So I see a lot of greens and fuchsia pinks and the lime green. So you're within all of the different chambers of the heart, the front and the back, the lower, the inside, outside, upside down. And when you're tapped into the 369 of love, you are in that self-forgiveness state, the self-compassion, you're in trust, you are in the state of emotional healing. And this is when you emulate that, you are it creates harmony within. It's what your nervous system needs to fully regulate. And this is also what you pour into internally and externally, whether that's your relationships with your inner child, doing your shadow work, any of your self-love, or the extension of what you extend your love to and the unconditional love to your children and your family and your friends and your community. And that is what you naturally exude when you reach the 369 and you really stay within your heart. This is also, it amplifies with gratitude. But if you take anything and you add it to love, there's an amplification because it is the true source frequency. Now, because we've raised and we're at this new expanded frequency vibration. So there's a vibrational level and then the frequencies emit from there. So when we reach this higher vibration that we are converging into, and this resonance and coherence, once we've resonated with that, with the vibration, now we are expanding not only us, but everyone else. And the work that we're doing is shorter. It takes less time. It's moments and minutes of self-love and self-forgiveness and to move things through you. And when you resonate with this vibration of unconditional love and affection, you bring out your inner child for inner child play, and the soul bonding that you do with yourself and with children. Like the singing voices of children are so poetic and therapeutic, and there's just this childlike wonderment that's coming from it. But this is the foundational, like, core note of Lovejoy. It's pure, it's radiant, it's wonderment, and it's unity, oneness, and collectiveness. But then you add joy to it. You add it to, create it into Lovejoy, and we are just like blasting out into the galactical, universal, and cosmic frequencies. This is the divine source frequency, and I haven't had a way to explain it. Lovejoy has been coming through for probably 3 to 4 weeks. It's been used periodically to explain something that's unexplainable. And just like I say everything's beautiful, and I asked, is there a different word for beautiful? And I was told no. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So a lot of my videos, I'm like, gosh, I see beautiful a lot. That is what this is. That is the frequency that there's nothing beyond the expansion of it falls within beauty. There's words within it that helps you to just, it's described in a frequency, there's no word to actually give it that. That is what this love joy is giving to the Christ consciousness, resonance, and coherence that we are converging into. And from the very beginning of the year, I was given that January was embrace, February was embody, March was to expand, April was elevation, May was illumination, June was evolution or evolvement, July is limitless transcendence, March is resonance, September is Christ conscious connections, October is convergence, and we just got November when we did the color hug of July, but November is coherence. And then it brings us, every time I tap into each of those energies, it brings me back to Lovejoy. That is the frequency that encompasses it all. And this 963 is this frequency of unity, but it's this frequency of like full-bodied embodiment and abandonment in like full sovereignty. You're leaving it all behind because you're stepping into the divine source, the unity and oneness of divine source. This is where like we're asked to, in the inner earth portal gifts that were received, the messages were asking us to use the celestial pillar to ground in at the same time that we are expanding up through our crown chakra and our soul chakra. So it's the violets and sapphires moving into the golds and silvers, expanding even further in the combination of the blacks and whites and that rainbow diamond light. We're asked to ground at the exact same time we are reaching to the highest cosmic levels. That is what Lovejoy is. Love is the ground. Joy is the expansion into the ethers, into the cosmos. And you can feel the energy of it. And I'm literally laying horizontal with the sun basking on me, and my entire body is starting to move into the waves, ride the wave of alchemization. And so it's alchemizing any part of me that doesn't know how to exist. It's existing in anything that's not love, joy, and it's alchemizing it. So we are moving into this full embodiment embrace expansion, elevation, illumination, evolution, transcendence of love joy as we move through the last part of July into August, as we step into full resonance. So when you're tapping into the divine consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, the spiritual bliss, the multidimensional joy, you are going beyond. Your crown chakra is totally, completely opened, although you are fully grounded into the cosmic core, and you've opened up your cosmic celestial pillar. And as you are tapping into and reaching beyond the stars into the cosmic web, your crown chakra weaves these webs from it in all of these connection points to ancient wisdom, galactical wisdom, advanced wisdom. You have so many helpers, and you're tapping into all the light nodes of all the stardust connections that you have within you. And you may travel, your threads may go to different star systems. It may go to different races and planetary systems, galactical systems. You're just weaving your web through while you're still grounded in your earthly body. And that is what this is known as love joy. It's the God frequency, and it's associated with the butterfly systems. When we talk about the pineal gland and the pituitary gland are encompassed in this butterfly. And then there's also another layer of butterfly over the, so much information is coming through, over the shoulder plexus. It's like your butterfly wings are coming in, but it's layering in. This layer is literally weaving itself down into your spinal column, and it's merging you with the God frequency, with the divine consciousness, and it gives you the ability to fly, to literally levitate. And this is where joy becomes full transcendence, the limitless transcendence. It's not conditional, it's completely eternal. And this is where you bridge between both worlds. You are the bridge between both worlds, because you're grounded in the now, in the present moment, but you're allowing those moments of full expansion to allow yourself to soar. That is the expanding your horizons. That's riding the wave. That is all the energy that's coming through, and it's helping us to, while we're on this slingshot being pulled all the way back through, for our release. When we've been through it all, we've given ourselves grace and gratitude, and we have loved ourselves through it all, then we are completely released and propelled forward. And as this frequency continues to layer and create new layers of love, joy, vibrations, and frequencies, this will be embodied into your light body, your fascia system. This turns love and joy from the emotional state into quantum, to a quantum energy frequency. And this is where you rise. This is where your rainbow rises up, where you're restoring the intrinsic source energy into the universal playground. This is when you fully remember. Your fascia system starts to talk to you. And as you're grounded, it's telling you what's going on, what you're experiencing. You're having this conscious conversation and connection. That is where, after resonance of August, September, we step into Christ conscious connection, and that is our fascia system. And anything we can do between now and then and over the next 3 to 4 months to regulate our nervous system, to clear our fascia system, to connect with it, to stretch, to somatic movements, lymphatic draining, vibrational movements, dance, energy work, Reiki. There is just so many different aspects and modalities that can be layered on to raising up. Your rise up is in your love joy frequency. And that is the easiest word to give it without deterring others from, when you say Christ consciousness or God consciousness or God frequency, there are so many within the awakened collective that they haven't been through the depth of healing and the layers of healing, needing to fully release concepts of that. But love is in your heart. Joy is what children are birthed into this earth. And when you combine the two, you have now just tapped into and created your Christ consciousness connection. Your God frequency, your cosmic frequency has happened when you elevate yourself, elevate to love joy, illuminate your love joy, continue to evolve within love joy, and to fully transcend into the resonance that's needed of love joy for that full Christ conscious connection that's coming. This isn't just about like feeling happy or feeling joy or feeling love. This is like when you don't have a word for it, this is the word. This is what comes out. This is your embodied higher self. This is your authentic self, your true self. This is a sacred union with not only within you, but within the earth, to source, to your divine counterparts, all of those within your soul family. This is the alchemical frequency, and it's like your heart is completely mashed up and it's birthed into a new form of a new heart coherence. It's soul alignment, and there's a new color with it. And it's not purple, but it's not pink, but it has a little bit of a green, has a little bit of the lime green. If it was brought into a flower, I would love to see Lovejoy in a flower. You have the sturdiness of the stem, the petals are different color. As it's birthed into through light and the reverse osmosis, when it receives all of that, all the different color changes, it comes out on the other end in this shimmering pinkish purple silver love joy. And then it's a blooming blossom that starts to radiate outwards because it's within you. That's what you become. And then you completely, I have to sit up for this one. You rise up, you lift the collective, you raise up the rainbow, you uplift the entire collective. But this is more than just the collective. This is that planetary field and shield. This is the magnetic field and shield. This is all the layers of the tortal field of the Divine Mother of Earth. That is all beings of light and sentient beings. This is inner earth, outer earth, inside, outside, upside, and down. And that is what then the Divine Mother radiates her love joy from her heart. And that's what she's resonating, converging her resonance to. That's what she's been building with all the energy that's coming in with what we received from the inner earth portal on the 13th. That was helping to assist with this, because that time capsule that there was between 6 and 8 different I'm going to say species, but that's not the word. There's 6 to 8 families that all went out to retrieve this, and the interstellar object is billions of years older than Earth. So it's like Earth's great, great, great grandmother. That's why we kept feeling the energies of the grandparents, that when we had the portal open, we couldn't quite decipher it, but as it's integrating, all this information is now coming in. And that's the great. That's the celestial, the ancestral lineage of Earth is in this interstellar object that's passing by Earth. So all of this information, and this is ancient wisdom, futuristic, advanced wisdom, galactical wisdom, it is all within this. So everyone gathered what they were meant to go there to receive, and they brought that into the core of Gaia. And that is what she's been integrating over the last 11 days. And now that we are now going into the day out of time, into the new earth, or the new year, and then we move further into the Lionsgate portal, and I think it feels like there's like a darkness and a light, and there's a transition. It looks like an eclipse maybe, or some type of changing of the guard that's going to occur sometime in between now and August 8th. And this is going to be a vital moment. There'll be a changing of the guard, but it's also a convergence of timelines. And the slingshot, it's all coming into one frequency, really, of love, joy. So as we continue to integrate and receive in those gifts that were gifted to humanity, the Divine Mother is radiating that energy out and up through the Schumann resonance. And then all of the different things that are happening on the earth, it's just like we are navigating, and to regulate our nervous system, the Divine Mother has to do the same. So she has to connect and completely converge and embrace and embody her fascia system. And then to do that, there will be earthquakes and tornadoes and floods, and it's all of the shifting that's occurring. What happens, we are the universe what's inside us. What's in us is happening without. And this interstellar object, there's multiple, as it breaks out, each of these divine gifts are in a separate color. And then those colors I'm shown that those will connect with a universal chakra system, the cosmic system, and the celestial pillars, halos, each have energy that will connect. So then there's a convergence between the pillars that are all running 18 above, 18 below. The heart is in the center. The heart is the center, is the heart of Earth, is the heart of the cosmos. Gaia is the heart of the cosmos. And as those energies start to come into full integration, and they're able to come online, we are then running on a whole new frequency, bandwidth and pulsation and elevation, a new coherence. Wow. And you never know. I never know when I'm going to receive the full loaf of bread to share when it comes to especially what we received in from the inner earth portal. But to be here now in this moment and grounded and basking in the rays of the sun, to be grounded on Gaia, to be anchored in as we soar above, as we continue to really ride the waves. So it kind of reminds me of one of those at the car dealerships where they have that wavy kind of structure, person, balloon, the wacky one. That's kind of how it feels, that you're grounded and you're anchored into this earth, but you are soaring and expanding and you're bridging yourself to so many different areas. And the wind just picked up to wrap us in this big, huge hug, giving us the confirmations that everyone is here with us to help us and assist us on this journey. My human is saying all of the messages are so long-winded, and everyone is saying, but it's a frequency. You sit within it. You receive the codes, colors, and keys based on the energy and frequency that I'm emitting through my voice, through my coherence. My body language is all flowing into you. So the more time that you can sit within these messages, the more remembrance and codes, keys, and colors you are receiving from them, even if you times it by 2. So if you speed it up, you are still receiving the information that's coming through. And it's the frequency of forgiveness, which will tapping into your 0 point heart center, living within that frequency of the infinity loop. As your infinity loop expands and evolves, then it blossoms, and there's one going vertical and one going horizontal. You start with horizontal, and then you bloom and blossom into your love is your base, your joy is your expansion. So the love is the horizontal and being shown. The vertical bloom is your joy. And as you sit in the center, you have now just created that flower of love, joy. And that's eternal, infinite love, joy. As my shoulders drop and I can finally take a full breath, my wing chamber is just like literally just wants to flutter away and spend some time in that new horizontal or the new horizontal view. Or get ready to soar. Finish what you started. Finish all your projects that you have going on. Organize your home, because you will not have time in the near future that you won't have time to, you're going to be so expanded and vibrationally vibrated out of those things in just a few weeks' time. So that's what it's telling me to tell you, is to finish what you started. Clean that closet, write that book, finish that chapter, reach out to family and friends that you haven't spoken to a while that match your frequency of love, joy. That you feel that is, you can radiate love, joy in those conversations. And it's in what you eat. It's in what you consume. Consume love, joy. Eat love, joy. Sip in love, joy. Dance love, joy. Childlike wonderment. Color in love, joy. Paint in love, joy. Be creative. Cook in love, joy. Pour love, joy into everything you make or bake. If you're baking some sourdough bread, pour it into your starter. Infuse your water. The day out of time is also World Water Day, and the veil is so thin. So be in water, get in water, drink water, consume yourself in water, and you will then be infusing that with your love, joy. And so it is. I'm going to spend a few minutes, if you'd like to stay with me, just anchoring in this energy into the Divine Mother. Sending gratitude to the Divine Father, Mother, God, and all of the beings of light from the inner earth portals, everyone who's shown up since then, all of our grandmother, grandfathers, great, our entire tree of life. It is just the webs that we have weaved in this rainbow web of cosmic webbing and weaving is so, it goes all the way through the cosmos. So we're just sending out our pulsating out from our heart into the heart of Gaia, who then pulsates out to the collective, to the universe, galaxies, and the edges of the cosmos.